Welcome back, surf fans. You are watching stop number 1, 2016 Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. This is the Hawaiian pro Chris Cote here with Ross Williams.
He loves it when the waves get big out here. But I like Lucas Silveira, a little more underground, but he loves huge Haliva, and he's going to be a sneaky one.
I like that pick as well. We're going to start off with Hizunome Bettero. Now, make no qualms about it. This dude is really good when the waves get heavy. He made the quarterfinals here last year. He's currently sitting at 34th on the QS. He starts us off, his 30-minute heats, flying by, and right behind him, Ross's pick, Lucas Silveira. You see, he's looking very, right as I said, he's looking very comfortable. He flew over about a 3-foot chop, but still just really solid on his board. That last turn, real crisp. Not easy to do a sharp rail turn with so much turbulence and water.
Great experience in the junior comp, so he knows how to win. And first up right here, Hizunome Bettero from Brazil as well on his backhand. You can see the first wave of the set, Chris. Look at all those chops. So as the sets get older, like the second, third, fourth wave, they tend to get cleaner due to just less water on the reef. The wave gets a little steeper and shallower, and it tends to kind of iron out the wrinkles. So still some chops here for Lucas, but watch this, a couple of smooth little layback snaps. There's that buckle that you saw, but that was cool, stylish. This one even a little better. He's gonna round it out, extend the rail turn. That was beautiful, right back into the whitewash. So a warm-up wave for Lucas. Yeah, no doubt. He's got a big feature ahead of him, and here we go, Hizunome.
Bettero now on his backhand. We'll see how the goofy footers can fare on the day. Solid goofy foot contingent making it through the first day of competition here, but it's about twice as big, twice as heavy. Here goes Hizunome.
Yeah, just actually a pretty nice wave here. You can see it's smooth, doesn't have a ton of chop on it. A round turn there for Hizunome, so not really critical. The judges will take that in consideration. Another decent turn, but it's not a bad way to kind of build your heat.
This is our first look at Ricardo, Christie, surfer from New Zealand. On fire on the first day of competition. We'll see if he can continue that roll. He's covered a lot of ground on this wave, almost looking like he's hunting for the barrel, but nothing on offer for Ricardo Christie. Right behind him, Ramzi Boukhiam, surfer from Morocco. Nice opening snap. Ramzi, always a threat for the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing, and that's why, unafraid to go straight up the lip on a solid, meaty 6-foot wave.
He's trying to take control of this heat right out of the gates, just saying, you know what, I'd like to have an excellent score right now, please. And that's a nice wave. Look how clean it is. Not a whole lot of chop, so he's able to rip through his turns. He's not really bouncing around. Nice setup car, but this is where that money section is, and he absolutely stabbed it. Nice and vertical, clean, didn't catch any edges, was in control. You know, that's all the buzzwords and the criteria. And the reason why he was so committed is he hit a hefty section right here. Look how steep this is. It's going to barrel, and he pins it right there in the nasty business part of the wave. So I would not be surprised if this goes excellent, Chris.
You know, it's funny to think of the word patience when you are watching waves like this. They're just so wild and just woolly. Do you think he should have known better, or that's just what Haliva is all about?
You know, it's easy to do, and here we go, live action.
Ricardo Christie, his first wave, just a 1. So we'll see if he's picked something better. This inside bowling up for Ricardo. Big layback snap. Straight up into the lip. Now that's what we're talking about. That's why I picked him, Russ, because he does stuff like that.
What about my boy in the back?
Here you go. Back to back. Picks. Lucas Silveira. Straight up in the lip. Now he's projecting down the line. This wave closing out around him. And that was not a claim of excitement.
The big Kiwi unit right here. Kind of a tricky wave. He took off way deep, which is sketchy back there. A lot of waves close out, but this one stayed open for him. He went around the barrel, and I was a little curious, but, you know, he did a nice little slice there, but that turn was the one that'll get the judges stoked. Nice little vertical snap right in that pocket. And Haliva's tough to, you know, pull off a really good move because the transition is tight. And you combine that with how much power is out there, Chris, you know, you really have to be decisive. Larry layback. I don't know. Just because it sounds good, or do you know something I don't
Larry
know?
Bertelman?
That's a good question.
Sliding, yeah.
Let's Google it.
Google that. We'll be back with more on the Larry, but right now we're watching a replay of Hizunome Bettero.
So Hizunome, you can see
local time, and it's going to be Ramzi Boukhiam. He was from Morocco. He moved to France at a young age to go through some schooling. He was a 2013 ASP vice champion. And it's turns like that are his bread and butter. Watch him out here. You watch him at Sunset Beach. Cracks on this one. Unfortunate ending, but nice wave.
I'm impressed with where he's putting himself in the lineup, and that's really going to need to be a key focus all day today, competing, because there's so much conditions out there, a lot of water, tons of rip pulling you where you don't want to go, and Ramzi staying busy. That was a nice snap right there. Yeah, there's no way making it back out from there, but you can get a ski ride back around.
Live action. Lucas Silveira, straight up in the lip, jams it, extending himself into that pocket. Another free fall floater. Gets around this inside section, hunting a little too. Nice finishing maneuver.
It was challenging. Look how big it is. I mean, that's triple overhead. So this first section is just meaty. And that was another stylish layback hook. By the way, I Googled Larry layback and haven't really found much success yet, so we'll continue that search. But right here, he's just surviving, trying to get back around. And he succeeded with a nice little float. So he's like, sweet, I have a backup score. Lucas is smart. He knows he has a 6.83. So, you know, he's trying to desperately get another backup because Ricardo, Christie, and Ramzi are kind of going to town in this heat. I think it should be a similar score, right?
This kid's going to be on tour, and it's surfing like this. He's really confident in his approach.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a junior title, so right out of the gates, as a youngster, he's proven to the world that he knows how to compete, he knows how to win. And right there, Lucas, again, beautiful cutback, nice little hook. Great way to start his heat. That was right out of the gates, 6.83. But Ramzi, there's no denying him. He has been a standout in his heat. And it just looks like he's very decisive. He's confident. He's putting his board right in the craziest part of the wave. You can see that transition. That's tough to do. You know, we saw Hizunome kind of avoid that section. Ramzi said, not on my watch. And he absolutely pinned that sketchy toilet bowl. So that gave him, what, Chris, an 8.3. So he's definitely been impressive.
Yeah, the biggest single wave score of the day, and it's just due to that vicious backhand.
Came unstuck in his turn right here, but he got enough work done to grab a 6.
Lucas Silveira, strong surfing.
And this score still trickling in, but this might even put him in the lead, if not firmly in second. But because Ricardo Christie, he's got a 7.5. He's not going to need a massive score. So in the last 4 minutes, you know, where you're dealing with, I mean, the conditions are crazy today. Sunset should be the same, where you really have to know how to be an oceanman.
Lucas Silveira with maybe more of a positional play. And it's a lot easier to catch a wave and just pump down the line than paddle against this current. Here goes Bettero. And that wave is not only going to pound him, but also going to take precious time off the clock. We'll keep our eye on Bettero. By no means taking this size Haleiwa lightly. Our water patrol is right in the channel.
He just got pumped, Chris. Absolutely garbage compactor. And Lucas trying to improve on his 2.2 wave score total. Ricardo Christie only needs a 6.6.
Great opening snap. Silveira. That was just a wonk turn, but I like the looks of that opening snap.
Well, here's the wild card of competing at Haleiwa on a big day. Here we go, live action.
Ricardo Christie with priority. Could be his last chance, a minute 44, looking for a 6.6. Got to get moving. This wave was really washy on the face. We'll see. He's going to have to do something crazy on the inside to solidify that score. So, wow, he's going to leave it right there out on the line for the judges to
wave by today's standards, and unfortunately for Ricardo, it's really soupy, but it's not as if he surfed poorly on the wave. A couple of nice cutbacks, and that wave was a little soft. So right at the very tail end of this wave, it provided an okay section right here, and he's just trying to get ready for it. And, you know, a nice little snap there, but I would be totally shocked if he gets all the way up to a 6.6. So a bit of a bullet dodge for this man right here, Lucas.
Yeah, there was that big vertical snap. Judges weren't buying it. A 3.23.
And I was just about to say, you know, the trick to competing today, you have 4 minutes left. You need a 6.6. Any given contest, these guys will eat that up. You know, but today there's so much water moving around. It's common to be stuck out the back for 10 minutes.
Lucas Silveira with 22 seconds left. Making quick work of the current here, getting right back into the takeoff zone. Solid opening carve. Laying it down again. Dropping that back arm, kicking the tail up into the lip. Fully utilizing the lower portion of his rails on that rusty surfboard. And last chance for Ricardo Christie. Smaller wave. I mean, he'd have to do a backflip to get the score he needed on that wave, just comparing that to some of the previous high scores. So it's going to be Ramzi Boukhiam from Morocco and Lucas Silveira, advanced team rider. Tomas Hermes will be going to work at Haleiwa. Stay tuned.